There was a village called Juga village, hidden between the great forests and the wide river of the east. Ah, Juga, a land of proud farmers, hunters, and drummers whose songs could wake the spirits of the hills. But among the people of Juga, there once lived a child so strange that her story spread far beyond the village paths, a story whispered in fear and wonder. That child was Nkechi, the girl with the longest hand anyone had ever seen. Nkechi was born on a cold morning when the mist hung low over the yam farms. Her mother, Mama Yugo, screamed as the midwives helped her deliver. When the child finally cried, the women gasped. Tiny body was normal, beautiful even, but one of her hands stretched far longer than a baby should. At first, they thought it was a trick of the light. But when the old midwife touched it, her eyes widened like moonlight in a dark sky. "Eneni uo," she cried. "This child's hand is longer than her body." The women stepped back, murmuring prayers under their breath. Mama Yugo clutched her baby, tears rolling down her cheeks. She didn't understand. Her husband, Pa Akafer, stood by the doorway, his face twisted with confusion and fear. He was a proud farmer, known for his strength, but that day his knees trembled. The old midwife, Mama Ozioma, took a deep breath and said softly, "This is not an ordinary child. The spirits of the river have touched her." And so, from that day, whispers began to grow in Juga village. As Nkechi grew, so did her hand. By the time she turned 5, her right hand could reach the roof of a hut. By 10, she could pluck fruits from the highest trees without climbing. By 15, she could touch the water of the stream while standing on the hill above it. The children of the village ran from her when she came near. They called her names Akinkita, dog's arm, Nwa Ogbenj, spirit child, and Nkechi the cursed. Only her mother saw beyond her strange hand. She loved Nkechi dearly and often said, "My daughter, your hand may be long, but your heart is pure. The gods do not make mistakes." But not everyone believed that. Many villagers said the girl's hand was a curse that would bring evil to Juga. Some elders even warned Pa Akafer to take her to the river priest for cleansing. "Akafer," they said, "your daughter's hand reaches the spirit world. It is not normal. The gods may be angry." Pa Akafer's heart broke with shame. He loved his daughter but feared the people's tongues. One night, while the moon shone bright and the frogs sang their songs by the stream, Nkechi sat alone under the great iroko tree outside their hut. Stared at her long hand, tears glistening on her cheeks. "Why am I different?" she whispered. "Why do they fear me?" Then, from the darkness, she heard a soft humming sound, a melody carried by the wind. The air around her shimmered, like heat over dry ground. And then she saw it, a glowing figure of a woman, rising from the roots of the iroko tree. Skin sparkled like the river under the sun. Her eyes were deep like the night. "Do not cry, child," the woman said, her voice soft and powerful. "I am Eneni Miri, the mother of the waters. Your hand is not a curse. It is a gift, a bridge between the world of men and the world of spirits." Nkechi's heart pounded. "A gift?" she asked. "But everyone fears me." Eneni Miri smiled gently. "People fear what they do not understand. But one day, your hand will save them all." The spirit woman faded into mist, leaving behind the sweet scent of lilies. Nkechi sat in silence, her tears drying as she looked at her long hand now glowing faintly under the moonlight. The next morning, she told her mother what she had seen. Mama Yugo listened quietly, her face pale with awe. "My child," she said softly, "if the mother of the waters has spoken to you, then your destiny is greater than any of us can see." But when the villagers heard the story, they laughed. Some mocked her, others shouted that she was possessed. Even her father began to avoid her eyes. Deep in her heart, Nkechi believed the spirit's words. Every night she would sit under the iroko tree, waiting and listening to the whispers of the wind. Sometimes, when danger neared, her long hand would move on its own, pointing to the forest or touching the ground as if warning her. And indeed, danger was coming. One morning, the hunters returned from the forest with terrible news. They said that strange footsteps had been found near the farms big as elephant tracks, yet shaped like human feet. The elders gathered at the village square, beating the gong of meeting. "The gods are angry," cried the chief priest. "Something dark walks in the forest." The people murmured in fear. Women held their children close. And then, as the council ended, someone shouted, "It is because of that girl, Nkechi. Her hand has brought this evil upon us." The crowd turned angry. They ran toward Pa Akafer's compound, shouting and waving sticks. Mama Yugo hid her daughter inside the hut, trembling. "Don't go out," she whispered. "Please, my child." But through a crack in the wall, Nkechi saw the people's faces twisted with hatred and fear. Clutched her hand to her chest, and prayed silently to the Mother of the Waters. As night fell, thunder rolled across the sky. The wind howled. And deep within the forest, a loud roar shook the trees. Something was coming toward Juga. Something no one had ever seen before. The night when thunder shook the heavens, and the people of Juga trembled with fear. The villagers had gathered, torches burning bright, their eyes wild like frightened animals. They thought Nkechi's long hand had brought a curse upon them. But they did not know what they feared was the only thing that could save them. That night, the wind carried a deep rumble from the forest. The ground trembled. Even the bravest hunters, men who once faced lions, dropped their spears. Then it appeared. A monster, half man, half beast, its body covered with thick fur, its eyes glowing red like burning charcoal. It was the ancient Ezu spirit, a creature banished long ago from the mountains for feeding on human flesh. It had awakened again, hungry and angry. The creature roared, shaking the huts of Juga. Screamed, women ran with their bobbies. The hunters threw their spears, but they bounced off the creature's skin like dry sticks. The beast was unstoppable. Nkechi, hidden inside her hut, could hear the chaos people crying, drums beating, and the sound of the monster's roar. Heart raced. Then she felt that strange pull again. Hand began to glow softly, the same light she saw when the Mother of the Waters appeared. A voice whispered in her ears, calm but firm. "Go, child, the time has come, your gift must shine." Tears filled her eyes. Looked at her mother, who was praying on her knees. "Mama," Vishi said, "I must go." Mama Yugo looked up, terrified. "No, the monster will kill you." But Nkechi only smiled. "The Mother of the Waters is with me." Stepped out into the storm. The moon broke through the clouds, shining on her like a blessing. The villagers gasped when they saw her walking toward the roaring beast. "Stay back," shouted one man, "you'll die." But Nkechi walked calmly, her long hand stretching out in front of her, glowing brighter and brighter. The monster turned toward her and roared, shaking the earth. It lunged forward, its claws ready to tear. But before it could strike, Nkechi raised her glowing hand. A blinding light shot out, spreading across the sky like lightning. The villagers shielded their eyes. The beast screamed, its body twisting in pain. Then, from the light, came the voice of Nneni Miri, the Mother of the Waters. "Spirit of darkness, your time has ended. You shall trouble the children of the earth no more." The monster let out one final roar before its body dissolved into mist and vanished into the night. Silence filled the air. Only the sound of the wind remained. When the light faded, Nkechi fell to her knees, exhausted. The people slowly gathered around her. Their eyes, once filled with hatred, were now filled with awe. An old man whispered, "She saved us." Another woman cried, "The girl with the long hand has driven away the beast." Pa Akafer and Mama Yugo rushed to their daughter, holding her close. Tears of joy and shame flowed freely. "My child," Pa Akafer said softly, "forgive us. We did not see who you truly are." Nkechi smiled weakly and said, "Father, there is nothing to forgive. Fear made you blind, but love will open your eyes." The villagers knelt before her, weeping. They had mocked her, insulted her, and now she had saved them all. From that day, Juga village changed forever. No one mocked Nkechi again. The same children who once ran from her now followed her around, calling her Nkechi the Blessed. The elders built a small shrine near the Iroko tree, in honor of the Mother of the Waters and the girl who had saved them. Nkechi spent her days helping the sick and the poor. Could reach fruits no one else could touch, and with her long hand, she would pick healing herbs from the highest branches. It was said that when drought came, she stretched her hand toward the sky and rain would fall upon the village once more. As the years passed, Nkechi grew into a wise woman, humble, kind, and full of light. Stories spread far and wide, and travelers came from distant lands to see the girl whose hand had touched the spirit world. Now, my people, listen well to the lesson of Nkechi's story. Sometimes, the very thing that makes us different is the thing that makes us powerful. People may fear what they do not understand, but the gods see deeper than our eyes. Never laugh at another's difference. Never fear someone because they are not like you. For within every strange gift lies a purpose waiting to shine. So, when the moon rises high above Juga and the wind sings through the trees, the elders say you can still see a tall shadow under the Iroko tree. A gentle girl with a glowing hand, watching over the village she once saved. This is the story of Nkechi, the girl with the longest hand in Juga village, the hand that reached both the earth and the spirit world. Remember, every gift, no matter how strange, is given for a reason.